Hey dolls, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to episode 27 of a Freaky Friday. If you do have a story to submit, please submit it to freakyfridays2019 at gmail.com. I truly enjoy sharing them with all of you. And like I say in every video, please do not forget to engage with this channel and with this video. And by engage, I mean watch through. I know some of you were saying that you felt bad because sometimes you can't watch through the whole video. That's perfectly fine. I just mean, like, if you can watch through, please do, because the YouTube algorithm does take that into account, watch time minutes. So if you can watch through, great. If not, pause it and then come back to it later. That's perfect as well. And also do not forget to like this channel and comment down below. That way they see that you are really engaged with these videos and that you truly do enjoy these videos, and then they can share my videos with other spooky like-minded people like all of us. But as always, you guys have done an incredible job. The engagement is always there. It's always incredible. Thank you. Truly, it just warms my heart. I love you guys so much. But moving on to the video, this is the look I am creating for you today. I wanted to put on my cute little hat, and I thought this look would just be perfect. This is a vintage dress that I purchased a while ago, and this is a cute little pin that my grandma gave me, so I just had to create a look with it. So I truly hope you guys enjoy this video. If you are not subscribed, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to be notified when I upload videos. Alright dolls, let's get into these stories. Okay, so the first story we have is from Carolina. Hello Ashley, I wanted to say I love this channel as well as your other one. Keep up the good work. Now to the story. Thank you, my love. This all took place my freshman year of college. It was my Halloween night, and my friends and I were in our dorm room with nothing to do. We were a bunch of losers, ho ho. When one of my male friends said, let's go trick-or-treating. We had nothing better to do, so we came up with some costumes and were out. We only scored at one house, and we had to sing to the old lady. Oh, that's clever. We got our goods, left in a hurry. We were having a blast for not being invited to any campus parties. Back on campus, we decided to go to the haunted house to see how lame it was, but it actually turned out to be a good haunted house for college students to have put on. At the end of the night, we went back to my dorm to split up the candy. Then everyone said goodnight and went their way. A good night would not be in the cards for me. After changing into my PJs, I laid down tired but happy. I had a feeling to look up and to my left, and when I did, there stood this big, huge beast creature with horns, yellow teeth, foaming long claws, slimy green-black skin, and whispering he was going to take my soul. I was beyond terrified. Something deep in me said, you're looking directly at the devil himself. I wanted to freak out, but I remember my grandma told me if I ever find myself in this situation to shout at it. I belong to the Lord, Jesus. Go back to where you came from. I shouted that 7 times before peeking from my blanket. The devil was gone, but the floor where he stood felt like fire. I now sleep with the Bible open next to me to Psalm 23. That book has always comforted me. Carolina. What the fudge? That is terrifying. So it was just like a one-time incident. Nothing else happened after that. So scary. I can only imagine what you were feeling. That is so creepy. I'm so glad you are okay. Continue praying, girl. Do not let that thing back into your life. Thank you so much, Carolina, for sharing your story. This next story is from Eileen, and it is titled, People Come Into Your Life for a Reason. Hey doll, I've been a fan since I was in high school, which was 2014 or 2015. I'm 20 now. Oh, thank you so much, my love. We met at Halloween Horror Nights. I was beyond speechless I met you in person. Keep on doing your Freaky Fridays because I absolutely look forward to them. Oh, I love that photo. I actually have that photo because you did post it on Instagram, so I have it. A little backstory. My boyfriend and I were in the middle of moving, but he had car problems, so we had invited one of his cousins to help him fix his car. And the cousin brought his girlfriend. I will call her May. As we were moving, finally, a couple days later, I had ordered a package a week before. So I was driving around to see if I would spot the mailman and had brought May with me. May is a very spiritual person, and I would say she's sort of a medium. I really don't know how the topic of my late Theo was brought up, but he was very significant in my life. He was my second dad, I would say. He never had children of his own, so he raised my sister, my brother, and I. She asked if she could describe him, and I said, yeah. And girl, when I say she described him to a T. He always wore a white t-shirt and jeans. That was his wardrobe. But she said something that really touched my heart, and I had to stop my car to cry. She said, he never had children, so you were his princess. He always carried a photo of you wearing a white dress in his wallet until his last day, and he said that he wishes he hugged you tighter. That picture was when I got baptized, and the one thing I've always said or say is that I miss his hugs the most. I have many more stories, but this will do for now, as it is 2 in the morning and the scary ones can wait for tomorrow. LOL. Thank you for all the creative content. Oh my gosh, that is the sweetest story. I love getting these sweet stories because, like I always say, it just reminds me of my grandfather, and it just makes me feel so happy when I hear others connecting with their loved ones, or their loved ones connecting through mediums to connect with you. It's just so heartwarming. Thank you so much for sharing your story, my love, and thank you for the photo again. I love you. This one is from Leah, and it's titled A Few Weird Stories. Hey dolls, so I started watching your Freaky Friday videos and wanted to share some of my weird stories with you. Story 1. Background information. I was staying at my mother-in-law's boyfriend's house that his dad built in Jefferson, Texas, one of the most haunted towns in Texas. His dad had passed away in this house, I'm not sure how long ago. My mother-in-law had told me some stories like she would hear someone walking down the hall in slippers like her boyfriend's dad would. So I was taking a shower and all of a sudden I start to feel sick and I vomited. My husband ran in and asked if I was okay and stuff, and said that I was white as paper. So I laid down for a little bit and was okay. That night we went to bed and I tried to turn the TV on and it wouldn't work, so I unplugged it. And also there was a lamp by the bed that had no light bulb in it. So we laid there and were trying to sleep, but I kept hearing someone walking down the hall in slippers, but I didn't see anyone, so I told my husband and he said it was okay and to try to go to sleep. So I ended up falling asleep. I'm not sure what time it was, but all of a sudden my husband wakes me up yelling, telling me to run. The TV was on that snowy channel and the lamp by the bed was on. Mind you, I unplugged the TV and the lamp had no bulb in it. So I looked to the corner of the room. There is a big flashing ball. I was told it was an orb. I run and trip over the blankets, and my husband's behind me and trips over me. I ended up breaking my pinky toe. We went home as soon as we could. Story 2. In the same house, my mother-in-law's boyfriend's daughter, which was about 7 or 8 when this happened, she has this big mirror in her room, and she said she could see her grandpa in the mirror wearing the suit he was buried in. But she wasn't even born when he passed. She said she also sees a scary old lady. I hope you enjoyed my weird, crazy stories. Have a great day. Love, Leah. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry to hear that you broke your pinky toe. That has got to be painful. Did you end up telling your mother-in-law what happened to you guys? That is scary. Oh, and that poor little girl who says that she sees a scary old lady. No, thank you. I just hope she's not seeing anything evil. Thank you so much, Leah, for sharing your stories. This next story is titled Child in My Room. Hello, Ashley. My name is Jean, and I'm an empath. I've been a subscriber to your other channel for 3 or 4 years now. You're amazing, and I'm loving the scary stories. Oh, thank you for supporting me on both my channels, my love. I really appreciate that. I have had lots of paranormal stuff happen to me over the course of my 32 years of life, but this incident sticks with me no matter what. A little backstory. My mom's house is an older double-wide trailer that we originally moved into when I was a child in 1999, when my family moved from California to Nevada. Back then, we lived in a trailer park, but due to some bad times, my mom moved us and the trailer out to Arizona, literally in the middle of the desert when I was in high school in 2004. The house had always been a bit creepy while I was growing up. I'd hear someone calling my name and no one was there, or things would disappear and you'd find whatever it was on the dining room table or somewhere completely obvious. But I shrugged it off or explained it away. Fast forward to me being 24, married and living in the home with my now ex-husband at the time. After a month or so of living there, the same stuff would happen. My husband would blame me when things went missing, and we both heard our names called when we were home alone. One night, I had my younger brother spending the night while school was out for the summer to help my parents out. He was 8 or 9 at the time. I made sure he was asleep before going to bed. I always sleep with my door closed, locked. I'm a light sleeper. I was woken up in the middle of the night out of a dead sleep. At first, I was confused and groggy. The room was pitch black. As my eyes adjusted, I noticed my dog sitting at arm's length away from me, staring at me. Looking around to figure out what woke me, I snapped fully awake when I realized my bedroom door was wide open and it was freezing cold. I turned to my husband thinking he was up, but he was asleep. As I turned my head back to the door and noticed there was someone standing by my dog by my bed, my heart skipped a beat. It looked like my brother. His head was down and he was wearing his dark sleeping pants and the hoodie he went to bed in, just standing there, slowly petting my dog's head. I noticed my dog wasn't moving at all. It's like he was frozen in time. Before I could ask my brother what the hell he was doing, he stopped petting and slowly lifted his head. Girl, it was like Beak in a horror film. As his head rose slowly, there was a loud, shrill child's laugh that continued as the thing I thought was my brother turned away from me. I never saw his face. He ran away from my bedroom door into the closet and disappeared. I had no doors on that closet, so I saw the clothes move as he pushed them out of the way, and the closet is very shallow, so there was nowhere to go. I sat in shock for what felt like hours, but was probably minutes as the child's laugh died away. Finally, I blinked and my dog was crawling into bed with me and my bedroom door was closed like it had never been opened. I told my husband about it in the morning. He did not believe me and gave me shit saying I imagined it. Karma. He saw the boy when I went to work the next day and called me freaking out. LOL. I brought it up to my mom and she told me a child had died in the home before we bought it. The ghost never felt evil, just mischievous. I saged the house and things died down. I hope the boy found his way over to the other side. Sorry if the story was too long. I, like many others on here, have other stories if you want to hear them. Thank you. I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. Jean. Yes, please send more stories in. We can never have enough stories, so please, please, please send them in. I want to know why he changed himself to look like your brother. Why was he trying to trick you? That is scary and creepy. Did your mom say how old the boy was that died there? It kind of always reminds me of like those changeling stories where they make themselves look like other children, so you're fooled. Good thing your husband actually saw him the next day, because if not, he would have kept thinking that you were crazy. I always love when people who don't believe their significant others actually experience the paranormal sighting themselves, because then they can't explain it away and you don't seem crazy anymore. Thank you so much, Jean, for sharing your story. This next story is from Sarah, and it's titled The Guardian Angel. Hello, I'm from Fresno, California, now in Hilton Head, South Carolina. I love your show and definitely inspired every day by your rockabilly looks. I've never been able to do the styles until I watched your videos, and I'm excited to see your new journey talking about paranormal experiences. Oh, thank you so much, my love. I am spiritual and believe in God and angels, and I feel like I had met one on this fateful day. I was about 21 and young and had experienced a lot of hardships with men in my life, including my father. I had been fed up with a 3-year relationship where the man was using me and was cheating on me. I felt like I deserved better, but had experienced abuse from my father, so I felt like I needed courage. It was a normal day. I was working at Blockbuster. I know, it's so long ago, but yes, Blockbuster. The location of the store was not busy, and very few customers were coming in during the day. The store was empty, and I was located at the front where all the cash registers were at. I was able to say hello and goodbye to people as they entered and exited the store. This one day, a small, older woman walked in. She was the only one in the store. I greeted her as normal and asked her if she needed any of my help to just let me know. The woman stayed in one aisle and did not appear to move as much, indicating to me that she might need help. I was the only one in the store, and I walked over to the woman and asked her if she needed assistance. To my surprise, she was small in stature and modestly dressed. She had a warm face and a light about her. I felt safe and at ease. The woman did not answer my question, but she did need help with the movies. Instead, she stared at me. Her eyes were kind of forgiving. She did not know anything about me, and she looked at me and told me not to let those men use me, and that I was a beautiful woman and could do much better. I was in tears, and I thanked her, and I walked back up to the exits, leaving her behind me. I stared at the exit door and was expecting to thank her as she left the store. To my surprise, time went by and she did not leave. I was surprised and looked around the store and did not see anyone. There was no one in the store, and it gave me such an eerie feeling, but I still felt safe. I stared in shock. My body went numb that I was being hurt by men and going through such an emotional time in my life. She never left through the exit, and there was no one in the store. My manager was in a room at the back looking at the cameras. I went to the back and asked her if she saw the woman. My manager had a surprised look on her face, and she replied she never saw anyone. I felt chills, but it was a good feeling. I was going through one of my worst times in my life. There was a reason she was there. I felt as if she might have been my guardian angel. I immediately broke off my relationship and ended up leaving him. I feel like there are guardian angels for everyone in this world. I didn't know until I met mine. Thank you for sharing the story, and again, the stories of others, you are an inspiration, and I love your unique style. That is such a heartwarming story. I definitely do believe it was your guardian angel. Some angels just really love to communicate and love to let you know that their presence is there and they are with you, guiding you at all times. And it was probably just hurting them way too much and knew that that person was no longer meant to be in your life. So I am so glad that your angel was able to help you. That is such a sweet story. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your story. This next story is from Des. Hey doll, so here's another short encounter. I was sleeping at my boyfriend's house. I could feel him next to me, but some evil spirit was trying to impersonate him, talking to me in an eerie, creepy, almost childlike voice. Ooh. It was trying to get my attention. I knew it wasn't my boyfriend because its eyes were pitch black. And like I said, it gave me a really creepy vibe. And I saw my boyfriend beside me. I challenged it and started praying, and then it turned into a black cloud of smoke and headed towards the ceiling. As it was going up, it laughed in a really evil, deep voice. Ha 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 ha, I got you now. Okay, that was a short one, but that creeped the out of me, especially right now that it's so late at night. I was imagining that voice and the cloud of smoke and it going into the ceiling. That is so creepy. I'm so glad it didn't do anything to you. Have you had any further experiences like that? Thank you so much, Des, for sharing your story. And now we have the last Freaky Friday story for today. This one I thought would be really interesting because we haven't had one like that. The subject is werewolf? ? So we haven't had any werewolf stories. At least I don't remember having any, so I definitely wanted to cover this. Hello, Ashley. My name is Emily, or Moxis Journal on YouTube and Instagram. 5-ish years ago, I was looking up some pinup makeup for a wedding and got hits on your channel and never left. You are so cool. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you for sticking around with me for as long as you have been. I love you so much. I'm from Malmo, Sweden, so my spelling and grammar might be a bit off. I have a story that I haven't told anyone about. When I was a little child, long before the Harry Potter craze, I knew I was sensitive to spiritual life and could feel other spirits or auras. Sometimes I dreamt stuff that happened a couple of days later. So I was a scout since I was about 7. I'm 29 now and quit when I started nursing school and loved it. When I was about 15, we went out on a weekend sleepover in a shed in the woods about 2 hours away from my hometown. Not that this is not weird when you are a scout, We did it basically 2 to 3 times. Not that this is not weird when you are a scout. We did it basically 2 to 3 times a month to play, learn, and make food over an open fire. I usually felt like someone was watching us, but not in a creepy or threatening way. I love the woods and I felt most at home there. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. One time we went out to a cabin that I had never been to. It was beautiful and the location was so secluded and quiet. It was late November and frosty outside. When I went to the bathroom, outside in a tiny house on the yard, and it was beautiful. The trees had white, sparkling, frosty leaves and twigs. The ground made the frosty sound, and I was loving it. Some of the boys tried to scare me while I was walking alone. Don't let the werewolves get you. If you don't get back in 30 minutes, we'll come to save you. I just laughed and said, I am never afraid of that. Don't worry. When I was done with my business and went outside, I heard the frost on the ground cracking. I looked up to the sky and realized it was a full moon. I stood there and looked at the moon. Facing away from the cabin, I heard it again and didn't think about it. The woods are always talking. When I stood there, I heard more steps in the frost. I turned around and no one was there. I figured it was a rabbit or something, so I just went to a bench nearby and sat down. In a relaxed position, arms up on the back. As I was sitting there, I continued hearing the sound of the frost. Wasn't scared or anything. I mean, all of us have to use the loo, right? I figured it was one of my fellow peers. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Love the feeling of crispy air. As I exhaled, I felt something wet and partially cold in my left hand. I froze. It felt like the entire forest became quiet. I looked slowly towards my hand, and it was what I thought, a dog's nose. Wolves are not common where we were staying, but they do exist, but they are more afraid of you than you are of them. As I looked at it, it froze too. I felt like we looked at each other for a long while until it backed away slowly. It was big and gray with yellow but human-like eyes. Ooh! As I said, "Hi, are you lost?" the dog leapt out into the woods and disappeared. The forest started talking again. The boys opened the door and shouted that I should come inside, and I went inside. I asked if the landowner had a big gray dog. They laughed and said that we were about a 40-minute hike away from the landowner's house and I couldn't have seen their dog. I asked what dog breed it was and they didn't know. As we went home the following day and passed the landowner's house, I saw a dog and it was not the dog I met, not even close to the size. Was it a wolf or was it a werewolf? I haven't been to that place after that, so I haven't seen or felt its presence again. To be fair, I didn't know then where we were either. Never paid attention to those details. Thank you for reading my story. Lots of love, Moxie. I haven't really gotten into werewolves, so I don't know if I believe they exist or don't exist. Like, I'm completely in the middle about them because I haven't done enough research. But if any of you guys have experiences that are similar to that, send them over to me. I love reading about things like that. I'm glad that thing did not gobble you up and you were here today to be able to share your story. Thank you so much, Moxie, for sharing your story. So those were the stories for today. I hope you dolls enjoyed them. Let me know, comment down below which was your favorite story. And don't forget to submit yours if you do have one. Moving on to the look. This is the final look. So we got the hair, the makeup, and now we're going to move on to the outfit and hopefully unspook you guys a bit. So that is it for today's Freaky Friday video, my loves. Comment down below which was your favorite story from today's video. If you do have a paranormal story, please submit it to freakyfridays2019@gmail.com. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends. Thank you, dolls, so much. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye, loves.